Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Yo soy Jimmy Rodríguez y bienvenidos una vez más a mi canal llamado Memorias de un Pistolero. El día de hoy tengo una súper invitada y es Alexandra Christo. Es la escritora de Matar un Reino o To Kill the Kingdom.
Yes, To Kill the Kingdom.
Estoy muy emocionado, así que me disculparán, ya saben que con este tipo de cosas me pongo muy nervioso. I'm so nervous because I don't know how to explain everything I have in my mind.
Okay, we're not in a rush. We're not in a rush.
Entonces quería hacerle como una entrevista, pero no quiero como hacer las mismas preguntas de siempre. I want to do an interview with you, but I told you that I know I understand that you have always the same questions all the time interviews, and for that we make a
switch up.
Entonces por eso vamos a cambiar y vamos a hacer un juego que es el recuerda aquella vez, y pues aquí vamos a hacer entonces Remember That Time. Entonces es una forma de hacer entrevista pero un poco diferente. Entonces Remember That Time. A ver,
I have to try and think now.
Remember that time, the moment that you have the idea for write your book?
Yeah. So I grew up reading a lot of fairy tales where women didn't have their own agency and their own voice. So it was only Little Mermaid was my favourite story growing up, and then I read the Hans Christian Andersen version, and I was just like, oh, she dies. She sacrificed everything for love, and it didn't work out so well, and so that inspired me to be like, okay, hang on, I want to rewrite a tale where the woman is the villain and where she has her power and she has lots of strength and she's not apologetic about that and she's not trying to find love, she's literally ripping out hearts. So I just started to do it as kind of a fun side project. I didn't really think it would go anywhere, and then it did.
The villain is an amazing character. Yes, it's a very, very bad villain. I love it. Remember that time when you hear or when you know that your book was published?
Yeah, so it was crazy. I was actually at work at the time in a full-time job that I had, and I got a phone call from my agent who was in America, so quite far away, and she said, we're putting the book to auction, we're submitting it to multiple publishers, we're gonna do that and I'll keep you updated. I was just like, oh, okay. And then she just kept calling me every 10 minutes while I was at work, like, oh, this person's putting an offer, or this person's doing this, and I was just like, okay. And I kept having to run into the hallway to get updates, and then finally she rang me and she says, Macmillan, who's my US publisher, has made an offer and they want to publish your book. This is the offer. Do you want to accept it? I lost my words. I started nodding, and then I realised she couldn't see me. So I was just like, yes, accept it. And then I had to go back into work and finish the rest of the day at work, just like, I'm getting a book published.
I understand, because it's very amazing.
And you just want to tell everyone, but nobody else really cares as much as you do. So you want to tell everyone, they're like, yeah, whatever.
It's your son.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Remember that time, the moment when you know that your book was being translated to another.
Yeah, you always dream as a writer that your book will get translated. That's like the big dream. And I was just at home, I think it was late at night, I was watching Netflix, eating dinner in bed, and then I got an email from my agent, just said, foreign rights translation offer, and it had, I think Germany was the first one that we sold, and then we sold the Spanish translation rights second. I was just like, I didn't know what to do. It's like, okay, what happens now? She's like, oh, nothing, they'll take care of it. So I was just sitting there like, oh. I didn't know what to do. Again, it happened, I think it was like 1 in the morning, and it's like, oh, now I have to go to sleep. I can't sleep now. So I rung my mum at like 1 in the morning, like, Mum, guess what? And she's asleep. Like, my book's going to be in German, it's going to be in Spanish. She's like, oh, that's really nice. Tell me more in the morning.
That's the point. Okay, remember that time when you been told that you have to travel to different countries for the presentation of your book?
Yeah, the first different country I went to was America, which isn't really that much of a foreign country, but that was really exciting to me because I'd only ever been to America a couple of times before, years and years back, and all of a sudden they were like, yeah, we want to send you on tour, you're going to meet readers from across the world, and it was just, it was sensational to think about. And then I got the invite to come here as well, to Colombia, and it's just, you never dream it will happen, because having your work translated is one thing, but then for them to want to bring you over to that country, that can never happen. And so every time I see an email like that, it's a dream, and I always say yes. As soon as I see the email, I'm like, yes, 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 yes.
And I know that this is the beginning. You have to do a lot of travels. You have to be in a lot of ferias del libro. I know you have a long career. You remember the time when you start to write, or your process to write?
It's always hard. It differs between every book. I always have the ideas. I always know where my characters will start and where they'll end. Mm-hmm. But all the stuff in the middle, it takes a long time to figure that out. So I just sit and I just write and I'll see what comes to me. And the first drafts are always very messy. They're not very good, but that's fine, because you rewrite it and you rewrite it and you rewrite it. And if you try to make the first draft perfect, it will take you years and years and years. And I'm on a deadline. I don't have years. So you just kind of do some, I normally do like some rough chapter outlines, and I know like major plot points that I want to achieve, but other than that I just write and see what comes to me, and then I just add stuff in. With every draft I'll add in a new plot point, or I'll add in something new to do with the character, or maybe a new relationship. And so it takes a lot of time and a lot of drafts to achieve a finished book, and a whole team of people helping me.
Yeah, there's much pressure.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, but without the pressure I don't think that I would do it, because if I didn't have deadlines I would just procrastinate and I would take so long to do it, and so long, whereas I know now people are depending on me, and if I miss my deadline then the sales team are bad, and the marketing's bad, and the editorial's bad, so it's a good push for me to do my work.
Yes, because it's very stressing and very...
Yeah, it's very stressful.
No, you don't have the motivation or the ideas clear all the time, and you have to do it.
Yeah, it does get hard, but I suppose it's like any job where you go to work and you don't want to do it, but you have to do it, so you just put your head down and you do it. And the hardest part is just starting to do it, because once I start and I'm in the zone, I go for hours and hours. It's just getting myself to start. And even if I ramble and I cut half the stuff out, at least I've written it and it's there, and I might be able to use it in the future. So it's very stressful, but I love it so much I can't complain. It's worth all the tears.
The two last questions. Remember the time when you read the first reviews about your book?
That was scary, because lots of people tell you never to read a review of your book. They say stay away from reviews, because not everyone's going to love your book. Some of them are going to be really, really bad. Some of them are going to... But I'm a glutton for punishment, so I was like, no, I'm reading them. I read them.
I don't care.
I was like, I'm going to do it. I try not to read any reviews lower than 3 stars. So 3 stars is good, because then you get constructive feedback. Whereas 2 stars, it's normally just people going, I hate it. It's like, I can't read that. But I remember, the first time I read a review, it was a 5-star review that my publisher had sent me, so she eased me into it. Okay. And I was just amazed that someone found joy in a story that I'd written, in an idea that came from my mind. Someone was inspired by it, and someone thought it was funny, and thought it was smart. And that's the best feeling in the world, to know that you've created this piece of art and someone appreciates it, because the book takes so many years, and it's nice to know that someone appreciates all the efforts that's gone into it. I also remember the first time I read my bad review. I ate a lot of ice cream that day.
I'm sorry.
You can't please everyone.
Yes, yeah.
And you know, that's the good thing about books, is that they're so subjective and people have such different reactions to it, and that's what makes it fun.
And the last question is, you remember the time when you have your first interview?
Oh gosh. Maybe not that. No, that seems like so long ago. Yes, it was at a event in America. I think it might have been in Dallas. So I think it was in Texas or something, and it was at a book event, so it was on panels. And I was really nervous that I was going to babble. I was trying to keep my answers really short because I was worried people would think that I wasn't making sense, and I got really sweaty and I was shaking. Yeah, it was really nervous, and I was scared that I wouldn't have the answers to the questions. So the night before I prepared, thinking, oh, what might they ask me? Let me prepare some answers just in case, like I was doing homework. Whereas now I'm like, now I've got it. I know.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Tell me.
Okay, that was the game, and I have to thank you because I'm very excited, really, for being here with you. You are so lovely person, and it's amazing to meet you.
Thank you for having me. So my book, To Kill a Kingdom, otherwise known as Matar, Reino. You should read that because it's a really fun feminist fairy tale, and it's about this killer siren princess who rips out and collects the hearts of royalty. It's got murder, mayhem, magic, it's got pirates, it's got all the things fun, and it's got badass women kicking ass. Yes. That's what we need, taking names, and these women can either save the world or destroy it, so who doesn't love that? Okay, goodbye, stay on pistolero.
Bueno, eso es todo por el día de hoy, espero que les haya gustado. Ya me vieron que, como siempre me pasa, me pongo súper nervioso. I'm very nervous. Pero bueno, salió, funcionó. Aquí estoy con una persona maravillosa que es Alexandra Christo, y espero poder conocer más de sus próximas historias. You have in your mind about a new book?
Yes. Oh, yes. I have a new book coming out in October. It's called Into the Crooked Place, and it's about 4 black magic dealers who are enemies, who are crooks, and they discover a new dark magic that might destroy their city. So these 4 enemies have to team up to save their city. So we have a deadly assassin, we have a witch, we have this gangster guy, and we have a black magic dealer, all coming together to try and save the world.
Ya saben, ahí está, así que eso, ahora sí, eso sí fue todo por el día de hoy. Espero que les haya gustado, y si les gustó no olviden darle manito arriba, comentar, compartir con sus amigos y suscribirse a mi canal. Activen la campanita de las notificaciones para que YouTube les avise cada vez que yo suba un nuevo video. Recuerden que en la cajita de descripción les dejo mis redes sociales, que tengo Facebook, Instagram, Twitter y Goodreads. Hasta la próxima, goodbye.
Bye.